guys, so today we're going to do a Moneyfarm portfolio update. So a few months ago I did a few videos with Moneyfarm and I decided to use them for my ISA this year. And ever since then I've had people asking me how that portfolio is doing and to do some sort of update. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to take you into my dashboard and show you what's in the portfolio and how it's doing. And then I'm going to show you like 2 extra things that they've changed since the last time I did an update on them. So we'll jump straight in, but just bearing in mind that I've been really ill for the past week or so and I still don't sound properly myself, so I apologise for my voice. And I also apologise for going back to the worse camera. I actually just recorded this whole video and then started to edit it and realised that my microphone was broken, so there was no sound. So I'm going to have to replace the microphone, and in the meantime I'll be recording with this camera. So let's jump into the portfolio. So when I go onto the dashboard, you can see here that I've got £2,818 invested, and it's currently valued at 2,945. So that's a 3.29% increase so far. And obviously I've only been investing in this ISA since April because, you know, I had an ISA with another provider previously. So that's kind of why I have 2 portfolios here, as you can see. So the first one is 0 and it's done 3.35%. And the reason for that is because when I had my ISA last year with another provider, I basically just put money into the general investment account here just so I could review it. And then once the new tax year came in, I opened an ISA with Moneyfarm, and then obviously my previous ISA is still there, but I just can't add money to it. So obviously the first thing that jumps to mind is that 3% is not a massive amount, but bear in mind that it's not even been 12 months that I've had this invested. So I will likely do another update at some point when it's had at least 12 months to grow, and you'll see when we go into the portfolio that I'm on a 6-year horizon. So yeah, 3.29% since April is not bad at all, considering things are very up and down at the moment as well. So if we go into it, we can see here that I'm on portfolio 6 of 7, and as I said, you can see here that this is a time horizon of 6 years. So essentially a bit longer term. So strong growth whilst accepting the risk of fluctuations, best suited to investors with a long-term time horizon. So not really investing for the short-term gains. There's a lot of developing markets and stuff as well. So portfolio 6, obviously you can see here on their website, is one of their higher risk portfolios, so almost at the top. And the 4-year track record has been a return of 35%. But high-risk portfolios do tend to need time. So we can see the breakdown here of what's actually in the portfolio. So we've got commodities and real estate 4.2%, cash 2.3%, high-yielding and emerging markets bonds 5.29%, investment-grade corporate bonds 3.58%, 66% in developed markets equity, 10.4% in developed markets government bonds, and then 8% in emerging markets equity. So if we see portfolio composition, it shows us exactly what's in here. So if we just scroll down, you can see there's cash at the bottom there, and then everything else that's in here. So the worst performing is gold, £124, and it's down 3.3% at the moment. I'm not really concerned about that personally because I think that gold is a really important commodity to have. It almost hedges against the market crashes, because every time a market crashes it seems that gold goes up. So I don't mind it currently being down, because hopefully if everything else goes down, this will go up a little bit to offset those losses. Don't forget these are all ETFs as well, so it will be a gold ETF. Now the next one is £237 in the emerging markets equity, currently down 2.3% as you can see. So these are the top 2, well, the bottom 2 performing ETFs here. The best performing, unsurprisingly, is S&P 500, so up 6.3% currently. And then the second best performing, also S&P 500, but it's the sterling hedged, as you can see here as well. So that's up 6.26%. So overall, not too bad. Again, like I said, it's not even been a whole year yet, and it's doing pretty well. The majority of the rest, you've got things like Japan equities, emerging markets, Euro equities, etc. I do think that those over the longer term, like my portfolio is geared towards, will perform quite well. But like I've said previously, they are an actively managed portfolio. So despite the fact that they are ETFs, there are actually people managing it. So I do constantly get emails, well, not constantly, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I do get emails, you know, saying we've made trades on your account, which means, you know, they sell something and they buy something else because they are managing these risks and possibilities. So if I go back into the dashboard, if we have a look at the bottom here, you've got the portfolio activity. So you can see here, for example, with dividends that you get paid. So on the 29th of September, I got £1.39 for the FTSE 100, UK investment grade corporate bonds, 87p. So you can just go in here and see everything. So, you know, sales and purchases, everything that they're doing in your portfolio. So you can keep an eye if you want to, and that's where your dividends, etc. will come in as well. So the other thing I wanted to mention to you that they've recently changed is really cool, and because I've been ill, I've not had a time to actually action this myself. But I did speak to one of their investment consultants this week, because if you remember, you can actually go in here and just click into book a call with investment consultant, and then as you can see here, basically choose the date, the time, and the number to call you on, and they do call you back. So we had a nice chat, and I just sort of asked how I go about doing this, because they essentially have introduced new ESG portfolio options. So if you saw my recent ethical investments chat with Charlotte, I talked a lot about wanting to get more into ESG investing. So I was quite excited to see that, but obviously I'm already invested in my ISA. But the really cool thing about Moneyfarm, that I've mentioned before already, but it kind of ties into this new ESG portfolio thing, is that you can actually have multiple portfolios under one ISA umbrella. So obviously you are only allowed one stocks and shares ISA per year. With Moneyfarm, they all come under that one ISA umbrella, but you could have multiple risk, for example, portfolios. So under that umbrella, you could have one portfolio that's high risk, where you put a bit less money, and then one like low risk, and then one ESG option, etc. So I think what I'm going to do is essentially open an ESG portfolio alongside my normal ISA and see how that goes. I might just sort of move my monthly investment to go from the normal one to the ESG one, or I might do like £50 in each and then see how they both perform. So yeah, let me know if that would be interesting at all. But yeah, I'm really excited because it means that I can actually invest a little bit more ethically, at least in my ISA. So the final thing to mention that I think you guys will be happy about, at least those of you that were concerned about the minimum investment. So it has gone down from minimum investment of £1,500 to a minimum investment of £500, so significantly cut there. So if you were thinking about it but you weren't quite sure about the minimum investment, then obviously here's your chance. But yeah, hopefully that was interesting, a little bit different than like my normal portfolio updates. But let me know if you want to see more of these and if you're interested about how this portfolio performs in the future. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.